good afternoon, and would you believe, season 2, 2 years and 15 episodes later, no one spoke over the intro. Nobody spoke over it.
Hey! Hallelujah.
But yeah, we're here for Vaybaba season 2, episode 15 today. Some big ass stuff happened last session, but we'll get to that in a minute. Again, we're joined up above by Steve Corbs,
Hello.
over there by Captain Danface,
Hello.
this way with Sepetinissus.
Hello.
Yeah, we got that down now. I'm Gilded Branch, and I'm just going to get straight into it today. Up above is Captain Gingerbeard. He'll give you the recap, the howdy, and let's get going.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. So I was getting my iPad set up so I can see Twitch. Hello, myself and Gilded Branch, our host, are having a bit of a Peaky Blinders style hat off, I suppose, today. I've actually... Oh, hold on, where is it? There it is. Hat on, yes. We just had a very fun discussion about cars while we were waiting for this to load up. But I've actually written, I suppose, a poem / limerick. I think limerick's probably more appropriate. It's only 4 lines. I'm not very good at these sort of things, but I wanted to write one because I thought it sounded quite cool given last week's shenanigans. If you haven't caught up with last week's shenanigans just yet, it is now available on YouTube, and also part 1, should I say, sorry, is available on Spotify. The second part will be available very soon, or wherever you get your podcasts, as I believe most people say these days, because we are multi-platform. It's in chat right now. There we go. But as I say, it is literally wherever you get your podcast, because I have gone multi-platform with it via our podcast provider. So anyway, the recap for episode 14 into 15 is this. From pools of dark despair, ancient evil stirs. First came frog, then elf, in a place where others would not dare. Upon defeating crazy Cuthbert and Jonathan in the arena, Logan rushes forward to slay the mayor and his right-hand man for their crimes, only to be denied inflicting his own justice upon them by some well-placed magical bolts by Volta. As the bullywugs flee in all directions, Logan sets the arena ablaze and party head off to free the slaves. But no sooner did he... Arriving back at the swamp elf town, Lord Calastro met them down on the swamp floor, flustered at the sight of these slaves returning malnourished and beaten. But no sooner did he begin to ask questions, a rather miffed great mama emerged from a stump to inquire what exactly is going on. After reminding them that they shouldn't have gone to the Bullywug village, she revealed her true nature. She was indeed an ancient black dragon that had disguised itself as great mama to exploit both the Bullywugs and the elves who had invaded its home some 800 years previously. A vicious battle ensued, but finally our heroes vanquished the beast, and that is where we pick up now. So, the dragon lies dead within the village, the town of the swamp elves. There are bullywugs and fleeing all over the place from their own town. There are elves. They were kind of evacuated during the fight by Lord Calastro. Seeing that things have sort of calmed down, they've started sort of coming back to the town. And Lord Calastro will be the first to march up to you and sort of place his hands on his hips and look upon the dragon and say, well, this was not something that I expected. Well, I mean, what do you say? I mean, well done. You have defeated this great beast.
I don't think we expected that either. It was something extraordinary. But I'm very proud of us that we managed to take it down.
And I am very proud of you too. This is unexpected, as you say, and well done. Well done.
Thank you. I hope You will find in your pocket something to express your appreciation to the party, because in order to be so strong, we do have needs, and unfortunately, they are very expensive. That we need to keep up with our training, so it will be really appreciated if you can help us on that.
You see, he actually takes a few steps back. He's like, I don't know. There's not a lot I can do. I mean, I don't have pockets per se. I don't keep the money or such things on me.
Even
Perhaps one of these swamp dwellers could, do something to remunerate you, but I certainly do not have the money and the funds to do this. I don't think.
even if you have any magical uh, trinkets that you can spare, it will be really helpful for what we are trying to achieve. It will help our goal to become better and take back our city.
Well, as you're saying this, you see this. Sorry, I'm going to put my phone on silent because otherwise it's going to be a pain. You see this swamp elf, and he's an elderly-looking man, or certainly older-looking man, as far as elves go. Grey hair, big bushy beard. The swamp elves are notably shorter, like wood elves to high elves. You know what I mean? So they're notably shorter. But he comes over and he's quite stocky and he's quite big in his proportions, and he just says, "Oh, my darling, and my friends, this is a tumultuous time for us. I mean, well, what can I say? I mean, Great Mama, she was a dragon all this time. I mean, Great Mama's been dead for hundreds of years, it would seem. A lot of people are upset by this news." And he looks back at Lord Calastra and he looks up to where all the other high elves are like lined up effectively on the platforms above. Now, between me and you, he looks over his shoulder. Between me and you, these sons of bitches here, well, they couldn't give a fuck about you. They couldn't give a fuck about me. But I don't know. Our world's been turned upside down these last few months. First, we got these elves, or our cousins, turning up. Then you guys turn up. Then all of a sudden, Great Mama's a dragon? My God. Well, I don't know. I've been speaking to some of the fellas here, just while you were off on your expedition to Bullywug Town. Well, a lot of us told you not to go, but we've been talking since you did go about what our next plan should be. And now, Great Mama's a dragon. I think that kind of cements things for us. Well, whatever our cousins decide, maybe we can help. We ain't got no men of arms or nothing like that, but maybe we can offer ourselves as men at arms. I mean, men at arms. I don't know, take up whatever tools we can find, or weapons we can find. We could march north, help take back the land lost if it helps get rid of these bastards.
If you're willing to
Again,
do
looking.
such a thing, that would greatly help the cause. Every man, woman, and child we can get involved with this cause might sway the tide.
And he says to you, well, that's kind of the thing. I mean, man, woman, and child. Anyone willing to bear arms? We ain't gonna take the women folk. I think they need to stay here and look after the kiddies, but yep, the men folk will march north. I guess these goddamn high elves, or whatever the hell they call themselves, our cousins out of our swamp, get them back to whatever place they belong, and I don't give a shit. None of us give a shit. We'll come, we'll march north.
I do understand your frustration, my friend, But bear in mind that these people have lost their houses and their homes, and this is the reason they are here. So before you judge them, just try to be in their position, in our position, and understand that we have no home. So it will be appreciated if you help us, but I think you should understand also the why they are here.
Oh, don't get me wrong, little lady. We understand and we're quite happy to put them up. But they've taken certain liberties around here that we can't ignore. You know, they've drove us out of our homes and forced us down here in the muck. We've had to build temporary shelters. I mean, you're one of them. I mean, come on, you must know. You guys have taken up residence in the upper, in our treetop homes. We just want this to be over with, and we want to go back to our way of living. If it means that the good men folk of this town have to march north, then we will.
I would
While this
take
That's all
care
I'm going to
to
say on
make.
it.
Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say that I would take care to make sure that you leave enough menfolk to secure your village against any return by any bullywugs. And also, there is a village of superior buildings that has recently been vacated by the fleeing bullywugs. You may find that you end better than you started, with a village with more resources to live
Well,
than you had
don't get me
here.
wrong. I'm sorry. What was you going to say there, sir?
Me?
No, the elven chap. What was he about to say? I kind of interrupted him.
Send it me.
Just that there was a village down the road which was ruled by Bullywugs assisted by the dragon. It has been vacated. It was keeping some of your brethren prisoner, but now it is liberated and it is there waiting for people to occupy it once more, maybe. It may actually improve your living conditions above where you have. Or if not, you can suggest that the High Elves go there and you regain your homes as you wish them.
Well, don't get me wrong. We're going to send every man able to bear arms who can come and help, and we'll be there by your side. But there are certain people here, maybe too old, too young, and they can certainly go off and be a scouting party and maybe take over this little town and take up residence there. So don't get me wrong, that's going to be done. Thank you very much for the suggestion. Uh, from my people to yours, however, uh, we got to do something. We have to do something. Uh, and he sort of looks around and he goes, "Hey, Gloria, is there nothing we can do?" Mr. Brandt,
Yes.
the live stream has gone null and void on my iPad.
Anyone else?
I don't know if that's
No, I can still see
actually
it.
you can see it. Okay,
Whilst
it must be
whilst this
my
exchange
connection.
and
Okay,
everything's going
that's fine.
on,
I was
can Logan start sort of trying to get a hack through the side of the dragon's stomach? He wants to attempt to regain his bolt.
yes, you can certainly be doing that.
Sorry, it is loading for me too. Oh, it come up again. So I don't know
I think
if,
the stream's back. Yeah.
yeah.
If you're watching, I'm very sorry if you lost any of that. But I think it's working okay now. Gloria, yeah. So he said, "Hey, Gloria, is there anything we can do to reward these fine folk for the job they've done in ridding us of this great evil? I mean, guys, you haven't really told us anything about what happened. You just came back here and then she turned this dragon. But what information can you give us?"
Logan will go over his shoulder and go, "You tell him everything that happened. I'm still pissed by it all." And he's like digging through dragon guts.
You don't need to physically explain everything
Oh,
that
okay.
happened in this episode, but you can. I relay the
Yes,
information.
we
across
relay
if
the
you want to.
information.
Yeah. And then this woman, this Gloria woman, a large set woman herself, and gingery, curly hair and ragged clothes. Says, "Well, I reckon that something from Great Mama's stump. Now, obviously, Great Mama wasn't Great Mama, but when she was Great Mama, an artifact that she had. Uh, we could gift you this pendant if you like. It's called Melora's Grace and Melora's Wrath.
Meloras or Melnoras?
Melora, she's a goddess,
Oh.
goddess of like beauty
Just
and
stop there a second.
life and vitality.
We're gonna, if you can still see the stream, we're gonna go to a pause screen for a second while I fix this. Won't be a second. Okay, so we're not live, but we are now recording.
Have you got the first?
It's
cool.
yeah, it's
Have you
recorded.
got
The
the
first
first
section, yeah.
part of that?
It's gonna come through obviously as two
Okay.
recordings though, because when you stop going live, it stops the recording, and then we'll start from now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
This is because, although I'm with
Yeah,
my
that
new
makes
provider,
sense. That's fine. That's fine. We
you
can
know
just put it
how
on Facebook.
when you join up with someone new, it's got that. Well, you've had BT, it's got that fucking that backup internet, that EE thing. I'm only on that until my main internet gets switched on. I think anytime up to the 21st, is it?
Yeah, that's cool.
And
That's all right.
it's a bit shit, but we'll get
It
this one
happens.
done. Next time we'll have to do something. We'll wear something daft or do something. Just I don't know.
Wacky costumes.
Somewhat along them lines.
That I can do.
We can certainly do something. Corbs, get up in that loft and get Widow Twanky out.
I no longer have any of my Widow Twanky costumes.
Back in the day,
I donated
Corbs used to do a
them
lot
all
of
to church.
panto, and he used to have a lot of like fluorescent like dresses where he dressed on big boob dresses and all sorts of things. Had some very crazy stuff. There's nothing I can do until the actual official date. Because we're not paying for this internet right now. Until the actually date it switches on, this is just free. But yes, rewind just to where he called the lady. And then we've got a clear cut point, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so that's cool. So this guy is oh, Gloria, she can she could possibly help out a little bit. I can't remember what I said initially, but yeah, Gloria, she could help out a little bit. And this woman comes over, quite heavy set, gingery, curly hair, and she's well, I could probably give you an artifact from Great Mama, the original Great Mama, of course, it's a long time ago. But something she might have wanted you guys to have. She used to call it Melora's Grace and Melora's Wrath. Double-sided, you see.
Meloras or Melnoras?
Deja vu.
She's a goddess, right? Yeah, there we go.
Melora, yeah, and yeah, I mean, it's double-sided. You might rub your thumb on one side or the other, and maybe she'll give you a blessing depending on what it is, which side it is you rub. Yeah. But the grace side, now, if I remember right, that gives you benefits to having a rest. And if you go for the wrath, well, it might be useful in a fight. It'll give you benefits to, well, you fight, I suppose. Might help you out in a fight, in a pinch. But I'll give that to you guys, and you can decide who has that.
What is it physically? You described
a
what it
pendant.
does. Oh, pendant, sorry.
Pendant.
Yeah, it's a pendant.
Thank you, kind sir. You're a kind madam. Sorry, your grace is abundant to see.
Well, you're most welcome, sir. Most welcome.
If it is all right with the rest of of the village, I would like to investigate on Big Mama's hutch just to make sure that there is nothing else there that might cause any more trouble to the people.
We don't
Yeah.
want any dark
Yep,
energies
yep.
lingering around.
Great shout.
You know.
I'll go in and start rummaging with you.
Make self an investigation roll.
Blind. Where is it? 3. I think I want this pendant too much.
Okay, so roll initiative as a juvenile dragon starts to come out from the stump. No, I'm joking. No, it's just inside. It looks as much as it was when you first visited. There's like the cooking pot in the middle, a small fire going, and pots and stuff all over the side walls on the shelves and such. But there's there's nothing really that you can discern from it.
I don't know, guys. My eyes are a little bit stored because of the fight. I don't know if you would like to have a second look, just in case.
Can I have a look
something is
around
there.
for any weaponry?
Yeah, go for another investigation check.
Investigation. 14.
You start sort of like looking around, and there isn't really any weaponry. You do come across an item, and it looks a bit like a horn, like a drinking horn, but there's like a piece of wood fashioned to the bottom of it, so it has like a stand that stands on its own, and then a pipe coming out the side of it, and some dank, like horrible liquid inside the horn.
Dank.
Do you bring it outside?
I mean, in the true spirit of Logan, I'm gonna go in celebration of beating this dragon and take a swig.
Oh no!
Make a Constitution saving roll.
Well, I've got to stay consistent, haven't I? And that one, so a total of 6.
Everything you've eaten in the last 24 hours, you bring it up. You just take a swig, you're like, this is the most disgusting thing you've ever tasted in your life.
I would like to do detect magic.
On what's left.
To see if it is magical. I'm in the
Yeah,
item.
go for it.
So what do I do? Let me
just go detect magic.
Yes.
Whatever that comes under. Wisdom or something like that.
So detect magic. For the duration you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any. So yeah, I don't need to roll anything. You just.
So you cast detect magic, and it's like, yeah, this is magic, man. And it's from the School of Chill.
Oh, is it mushrooms?
No, this is a bong.
That tastes even worse.
Drank from it.
You drank bong water.
And I lost my spell.
I would like to cast a little bit of prestidigitation to clean up the mess.
The thing is, though, it
Clean
doesn't
up
really
log
appear to
and,
be
like-
much of a mess because this is the swamp and it's disgusting anyway. So it's like just blends in. But I mean, if you want to kind of like get rid of it, then you can.
Well, yeah, get rid of most of the vomit around Logan's mouth at least, you know. Clean it up a little bit. Make him look a little bit more presentable. Like dabbing a baby that's just brought back his spaghetti hoops. I will just give it a little bit of magic, you know. Look at the state of you. Look at that. What have you done? Why do you have to drink everything? You
I
stupid
can't
boy?
help it. I mean, it smelled great compared to the water out there, but I was just in the moment. I'm a little hungry if there's
Always in the
anything to
moment. I
reline my
find
stomach.
there is some dragon steak.
I mean, I'd love some dragon
About
steak. If
700 pounds of dragon over there if you want to
are
have a
you
little
able to
taste. Make it
cook it at all?
Well, I guess we have pots and pans.
You certainly do. You'd
I
have
don't know
cooking
what it
equipment.
tastes like, but you
For
know,
the sake
it's
of
mighty
like
good.
not describing the entirety of it,
I
unless you've
think
got
I'll
any
stick
plans,
with my
can
bread
we
roll.
smoke a bit of dragon meat, cook a little bit, have a short rest, that kind of thing, while it's all going on?
So you can take a short rest, you can take a long rest. It's entirely up to you. You're in the safety of this town. There seems to be some level of animosity between the swamp elves and the high elves, but peace, I suppose, if you want to call it that, has been restored. You've got rid of the dragon. Well, and in terms of cooking equipment, I mean, you guys are travelers, you're explorers, adventurers. You would have pots and pans on your person, or at least in the bag of holding, because you would have to. You've been on the road for several days. You know, you're gonna have stuff to cook with. So if you want to carve off some dragon steaks, I mean, there's a fucking huge dragon just here in the swamp now, just
I'm
sat
sure
there.
I'm not the only one, but after the fight as well, I'm still rather bloody. So I think a rest is a good
Yeah.
idea. Rest, get some rations out of this
Use this
dragon,
down.
that kind of thing.
In that case, the swamp elves will say, or the bloke that spoke to you before, I didn't actually name him to be honest, but
Gary.
he'll just say, sorry,
Gary.
Gary. It's all Gary. All right, Gary. Gary. Oh, no, I can't say that sort of thing. Can you? That was only fools and horses.
It was indeed.
It
From a long
was,
time
but
ago.
that's probably not acceptable anymore, so we won't say that.
I'll stop.
Full stop. Gary, the swamp elf. Well, you've just as a way of thanks for everything you've done to, well, I suppose enlighten us. I mean, you've proven what we thought was real wasn't real, but I mean, you can spend as long as you like. You've done us a favor. You've killed this dragon. Given us our lives back, I suppose. You can stay as long as you like. We'll put you up in the finest hut we got at the moment. Again, looking up at the high elves. These bastards, they taken our homes. So we'll give you the best we can give you.
Can I suggest something, Gary? There is a very beautiful village around the corner, and if I remember correctly, please remind me, did it have a pub and inn?
No,
and all of this?
it didn't that you noticed.
I didn't. Okay.
Oh no, definitely
But
didn't.
still,
I
the
went to try and
houses
find
are
a pub,
there,
didn't I?
Well, that's very kind of you, and we will check that out. But I think it's getting late in the day now, so maybe we just all put our heads down and maybe we can have a cook-off here. We got the dragon. We can take some steaks, and we could have a barbecue, and we could have ourselves a good time. Maybe do some mud wrestling if we got time.
And Gary, your offer of accommodations is indeed appreciated, but I do have the wherewithal to make quite comfortable accommodations without putting you out. You have already given so much in accommodating guests. I feel
Well-
that it would be unfair to ask you to give up
Well,
it.
the hospitality of the swamp elves is unparalleled. But if you got your own means, and by all, just carry on. You do what you do what you feel comfortable doing. We'll. But I think we definitely need to have ourselves a barbecue and have a bit of fun this evening.
Good old fashioned hoedown.
Good old fashioned hoedown. That's right, son.
Is Lily not? I think Lily has also a hut up there in the trees because this is where her home is.
Oh, Lily would definitely have. As I said, the huts up in the trees, the treehouse area. It wasn't intended for this many people, but basically the high elves had taken over huts for themselves and just pushed the swamp elves down into the swamp.
So
And you had several family units all living in like one hut, which to the high elves is really unacceptable. But it's the only thing they could really do, other than sleeping in the swamp themselves, which they didn't want to do. Which Lily would know, and I think Lily. I mean, it depends on Lily. I mean, that's up to you to RP. I mean, do you kind of like view this as I have a fucking home up there? It's my right to be up there, or is Lily like, no, I'm quite happy to slum it with these guys, but
no, I'm happy to be with these guys, and also when we finish eating and mud wrestling, we can go into the clean hut and sleep there and rest. Is it enough space for all of us?
you could find a hut with enough space. But that's going to be between you and these guys. I mean, are you all as a party happy to sort of impose that I have a right to be up there, or do you just want to be like, no, I'm humble and I'm gonna just take what I got?
I offer these guys. If you think that it is something that you prefer, then I'm happy to take you to the huts upstairs and just stay there and relax and sleep without the need of, I don't know, being awake and guard.
Depending how rowdy the hoedown is, we might not need bedrooms. Just sort of sleep where we land.
There is that, and I do, of course, have the capacity to create a tiny hut which is comfortable and proof against any attack. And also, from my point of view, in the moral side of things, I would not be depriving a swamp elf of a bed to sleep in for the night, which I feel quite strongly about. Having also lost my home in Alantalos, I do not wish them to lose their space for me, however temporarily. So I
Walther,
will be sleeping at ground level, and you can decide as you see fit. It is fine.
it's never occurred to me as we spent many nights in your tiny hut in the past. What's the soundproofing like? By that I mean from the outside in, Dan.
From the outside in, I do not quite know. I think
I know it
we have
saved
never
us
had
from
a
beasties many a
problem.
time.
Oh, yeah, we have never had a problem. I guess we could try it out, and I could always cast silence while we're in there,
I mean, I'm all for the
and
festivities
then
and
there
the
will
celebrations, but
be no sound.
I 100% need rest at some point tonight. I am very, very injured.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
time-wise,
an
it's
object barred from passing through it, so I would guess that applies to sound waves as well.
as I say, time-wise, you guys hadn't rested when you got here. It's like middle of the day when you got here. It is going on for early evening now. So I mean, it's up to you. Take part in the festivities and just have a party and.
Let me see. So, Logan, before we go to the festivities, and who is anybody else injured?
Yes.
If you please come close, and then I do mass cure wounds. Let me see. Let's see. So, we are. How many are we?
I don't want to discourage you from doing something for the party. If you want to do something for the party, RP wise, to boost morale, that's great. But you are going to be going into basically a long rest, so
I know,
yeah.
but because before the long rest we will want to join the festivities, and since everybody's like injured, and especially Flogan is blooded, then I think it will be more comfortable for him to join the festivities.
It's also
soon.
quite nice though, because it's a really great RP point that your character has gone like, I know we've been through this shit, and I'm going to heal you, even knowing you're going to get a long rest. And mechanically, obviously, that means you're going to heal up. That's fine. But from an RP point, it's a really nice point to be like, yeah, guys, have some healing. I think it really paints your character in a really good light.
Exactly because we are going for a long rest. I don't mind spending, because I use the spell just on to have it always with me, just in case somebody is near death. But because we are not like that anymore, I'm just doing a mass heal. So if you please gather 30, like around me in a 30-foot radius, and then everyone is taking 3d8 plus my spellcasting ability. Let's see. So everybody take. Is my spellcasting ability my level?
Oh, it's usually, and the spellcasters in here remind me, because I'm not a spellcaster when I play. It's usually like charisma or wisdom plus your
my modifier. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So please take 22 hit points
Ooh.
each.
And I think as Lily like kind of pulls you, and I think it's a nice little huddle moment. Everyone like comes in and like you're all like hugged in together. And this spell goes off. This lovely warm light. I imagine like a green sort of light, like just sort of washes over you and envelops you. And you start to feel
an incredibly
you start to feel like this. You feel like this. You feel like this energy fill you up, and you feel better. And then in the distance, you just hear like singing, and then you start hearing stomping, and maybe like some banjo type music going off. And you just hear in the distance as well, on top of all of that. So you got the swamp elves having a real good old time. They start carving up pieces of meat off the dragon, and they're starting to cook, and they've got this weird like moonshiny stuff they've brewed, and they're starting to pass that around. You just see the high elves up in the treetops on this like platform sort of structure, and they're just looking down. You can just see they're looking down on people. They don't care. There's like, oh fucking here we go again. But you guys, you get pulled into it, and I think you kind of immerse yourselves really into this culture. And the night goes on really well, and you enjoy yourselves. You have a really good night, and then you finally turn in through Wolfer's. I'm guessing through the tiny hut. You will take a rest, unless anyone has other plans from the tiny hut. You'll sleep in there, and you have during the night. And there is some during the night.
Oh no.
Volta, you are dreaming. You have visions of various bits and bobs. But your dreams kind of like this clouded thing kind of like starts to take shape. And it's kind of like a plateau overlooking a pool. But the pool has a vision or an image of the world of Vaybaba in it. And sat on the edge of this plateau looking over it is this cloven, half goat, half man figure. His skin is charred, it's in the cracks, it's red and glowing. He's very muscular, bold. He's got tusks coming out from his lower jaw, but he's very well chiseled. His face is very well chiseled, and he's surprisingly beautiful despite all this. And he looks to you and he sort of gestures to sit. And you do, and you come and sit on this perch overlooking this pool. I have reached out to you, my champion. I know of your intent to retake the place you know as Atlantalos. And then the pool swirls and changes, and as it shifts, you see a vision of Atlantalos as it was, this beautiful elven city, almost like marble buildings, tall trees, to suddenly it's destroyed. The walls are broken, the buildings are broken, the trees are broken over, bent over, burnt. Without and I always said it was like pine trees or something like that, where they had needles. All the needles are gone, like a very old Christmas tree, I suppose. It's broken, it's destroyed, it's decimated. There are devils, demons, and undead roaming about, and elves. There are elves, living elves, not undead, but living, and they're being used as slave labor. They seem to be doing the bidding of whatever these creatures are. And he points at the pool. As you can see, it is overrun. Without a mighty army, you will never retake it. The one known as Griff, that pretender, he has broke his bonds with Narfiliac. This only serves to weaken him. He no longer draws power from Narfiliac. This is why he has surrounded himself with such hordes. They're traitors. Treacherous scum. When Narfiliac challenged and destroyed Asmodeus, he became the true master of the Dark Realms. Those who do not serve him are traitors the lot. However, Narfiliac has abandoned us. He wants to raise an army of the Nephilim. If we can prove to him we are still worthy. And he looks at you.
Yes.
Well, if we could prove we are worthy, I might be able to help you in this battle. You will need it. Griff has summoned dreadlords to lead the armies he has built. You will need me. You will need those loyal. Perhaps. But I warn you, to give demons freedom and rise to roam over your mortal lands, they may not be so willing to return, but they will certainly fight for me, and I will fight for you.
Thank you, Almighty One. We will owe you a great debt of honor if you can restore Atlantalos to its former glory and free the people who are enslaved. What is your interest in doing this, other than to strike down the vile pretender Griff?
He is a traitor. I only want to see him dead, and all those that serve him destroyed, and we can return, hopefully proving our worth to Narfiliac, that we still serve him in these dark realms, far from your own plane. But we wish to serve. Without Narfiliac, without Asmodeus, we have no purpose. I believe, from insight into your thoughts, you are concerned about your family. I can tell you now, your friends, these that you follow now, whatever news they try and comfort you with, your family is not anywhere near where you are. They have in fact been enslaved and serve the dreadlords in Atlantalos. If you wish to see them, you will have to free them from the Dreadlord's control. And thus, we return to my original offer.
Hmm?
I will aid you in this battle. And I will help you take back your family. But I make no promises that once we can have proven ourselves in our Filiac, the demons will not roam this plane freely. It is your choice to make. Choose wisely, my champion. And as he says so, the dream seems to fade and you kind of wake up. Sweats, cold, horrible sweats, just in the darkness, alone with your own thoughts.
That was only Walther who saw that, wasn't it?
Only Walther, that was in his dreams.
In that case, I'm like this.
So many questions.
But
I'm
I have,
meditating.
but I have recognized the figure. That I saw.
I think from your communications already, you know this to be Xenanaton.
You can say his description's just Ganondorf.
Yeah, but it's always nice to know who you're dealing with and who you're making. I think it could have been, another dude.
I think it's
coming
a generic devilish figure, isn't it? Just like
Yeah,
cloven and
I'm just-
goat-like
in.
with.
Yeah. But we have had dealings with, more than one of those, so it is always worth checking.
Yeah, no, I think Volta would know that is
Yeah.
Xenanaton he's talking to, because only Xenanaton would know your thoughts and feelings on things as well. He has that psychic connection.
Has that insight, yeah. Yeah, no, that's fine. Okay, that's definitely something to think about, isn't it? Yeah. That's quite evil. I'm going to have to do some thinking on that. I may do a little bit of meditating while the others are sleeping and a little bit of consideration of it.
It's
What
one of those.
information down.
It's one of those. The lesser of two evils, kind of like. You can get rid of Griff and all of his false pretender followers, but they make no promise that they will leave if you do so. So you could be unleashing a horde of demons upon the world
Boom, boom, boom,
yeah,
boom, boom, boom,
in
boom.
exchange for getting rid of another. But Xenanaton has made it clear in that statement that he serves Narfiliac because he took over lordship of, the Hell Plains by destroying Asmodeus. Though the loyalists amongst the demons, may even serve you as a master.
Oh,
Who knows?
always nice to have
It depends on if you have
portion,
plans of grandeur and megalomania. I mean,
Little me.
something to think about.
Yes, definitely a little. Thank you. It's a very interesting little dream state. I gather the others will be oblivious to this.
Well, Logan has his
Suddenly
own
wake
dream
up
state.
going,
What do you mean I have my own
Logan has
dream
his own
state?
dream. You dream
God.
dream of
Oh, no.
just a weird. You just dream of chuckling. You hear chuckling in a dream. That's what you hear.
Oh no, I forgot about
Barry.
that.
Lily-
Dude.
Lily sleeps peacefully, and I don't even think Keenan's capable of dreaming.
I don't
know.
I don't
was
think I
eating.
sleep. I
Oh, you meditate, don't you?
meditate,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. You're an elf. Yeah, of course you do.
Would I be able to
Um,
recognise the chuckling as the same guy who has previously given me the shits and such other discomforts in life? You
Yes,
motherfucker.
you do. I thought it's been a long time since you had to deal with him.
In that case, I'd wake up and just like very carefully peel the sheets back and have a little look. Like, oh my God.
So morning finally comes in the swamp, and you see people erupting little fires and starting to cook various things for breakfast. It's up to you if you want to talk about these dreams, if you want to keep them to yourself. Matey boy who started talking to you and pledged his allegiance to you as an army of these swamp elves, he just comes over and he's like, now we can probably meet you. We've had a few drinks, chucking a few moonshine back, and we can probably mobilize in about 5 days' time. Be ready to go. Meet you up at King's Lake if you like.
Well, that sounds good. We do have some business that we need to attend to here. Just we're waiting on a contact, but yeah, if you could meet us there, we'll send any other able-bodied people that we can that way.
That sounds like a mighty fine plan. Well, we're going to take some breakfast. I think we're probably going to start arming ourselves. And yeah, we'll head north. We're going to head north to King's Lake. And we'll set up camp there. And we'll stay there until you give us the word to do otherwise.
Cool. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Very, very kind. Thank you very much. And he leaves you to it. What do you guys want to do?
Has left the building.
Gary has left.
Well, thank you very much.
Are the bulwarks that they left the village, are they going to be dangerous for those elves that they were left behind?
No, you kind of see them like there are bullywugs on the peripheries of this town, villagey thing, and they're kind of just like lurking and looking. They're not armed. None of them, even the ones that were armed, the guards, if you want to call them that, they've even just given up. They're not interested in fighting. They're just like, what's going on? And I don't know if they are aware that in a couple of days' time they're going to end up back to being primitive beings. I don't know. I don't know if they're even aware of that, but they're just looking on. Is there anything we can do to maybe try and get in there? But no, they're not a threat. They're not a threat at all.
Okay.
I think they're too clever. They're too clever at this point to realise that they can't do anything. Perhaps when they go back to more of their feral state, they might be a threat. But for now, they're not.
Yeah, this is what I'm thinking, because if their soldiers are leaving to help us, then what about those swamp elves that they're staying behind?
It's not.
And if they're
It's not a case of like Helm's Deep where all the men of all ages are fighting. Just the guys in their most prime are going off to fight.
So they do have
And-
somebody to.
Oh, they've got men still. I mean, they've still
got the
got
awful
blokes
archers as
around
well,
that can
don't
help.
forget.
So it's like I say, they're taking the blokes in their. Well, they're the high elves, and so far you haven't spoken to them about what they're willing to do.
No.
But in terms of the swamp elves are happy to give you a hapdash, kind of like militia of the people in their most prime. You've still got young men or young elves hanging around, and you've still got the elderly, very Tolkien-esque elf kind of prime, but then just older. They want to send the strongest, most fittest elves to help you. So they still have enough people knocking around that can defend this place if they need to.
Okay.
Good. Is there a go on, Pina?
And I was just thinking, should we talk also with the Lord from the High Elves and see if they will send any soldiers? Because it is also like we are fighting. I know I am one of them, and we are actually, and you are also. So we are actually fighting for them, for their homes. So I guess they need to help us.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go up and talk to him,
Yeah.
okay, and he'll take the audience with you, and he'll probably say, you're Lily Tisard. Yes, I remember. What is it you want? I mean, we wish for you to of course, take back our homelands. Have you come up with any plans so far to do so?
Um, Please remind me his name.
Lord Calastre.
Lord Calastral. Um, our plan is to try and get as much help as we can, so we can uh, take back our city. And we are here to ask if you have any men to supply for the cause, so we can all meet together and have an army and be able to take back the city. The swamp elves have already agreed to send some of their best warriors, so I was hoping, since it is our hometown, if you can spare some of your warriors to help us.
Well, what realistically is the point? These people have pledged their forces and their allegiance to us, and they are willing to travel north to take it back. Why should we? Not that we can. I mean, our forces, as you say, are just citizen soldiers patrolling the borders.
What
You
borders?
you saw the borders of the swamp. I mean, you saw the borders of Halon Bador, and you've seen yourself in combat. They are not martial men. They are not fighting forces. They are just people with bows and arrows. What can
May,
we do? We
may I
might as well
interject?
let these other people take the lead and do what they do best, or potentially do worst. I don't know.
If I may interject here for a moment, you need to get off your ass, my lord, and fight for your own things. You can no longer sit in safety and send others off to do your bidding. If you would reclaim your home, you must join the alliance we are putting together, or there will be no borders, there will be no force, because you will not be here either, and neither will we. We stand together or we fall apart.
I do not know who you are to talk to me like this. I am Lord of Elantelos.
Have you
However,
looked
I
in the
will.
bottom of the trees and seen the smoking corpse of the dragon?
Yeah, the smoking corpse is a dragon. You did a very good job. Why do you need our help? You are quite clearly capable of dealing with these problems yourself.
With all the respect, Lord, since you are claiming to be the Lord of Ilandaros, then you should have the guts and you should have the responsibility to help us with anything you can provide to take it back for you. Because if you don't do that, even if we take it back, I'm not quite sure if you are entitled to this city, since you are not acting as a lord of the city.
We will we will hold a meeting. Myself, my lady, and the men of the watch. We will hold a meeting, and we will make decision on whether we march north or not to help recover Elantlos.
Well,
For now, I wish you be gone from my sight. I am not here to debate such matters with the likes of you.
well, you're only a lord of
My cousins
Alantalos.
here, they have pledged their forces.
You're only a lord of Alantalos, and right now, Alantalos is not yours. So, with no due respect, get off your ass and make the decision now, or when we eventually retake it, I will rule it and you will not.
I have had enough of these people. And he waves his hand, and some sort of like slightly more armored looking elf sort of step in front and press you out the door.
I look at them and I say, I wouldn't do that if
I'm
I were
going
you.
to light up with runes and set myself ablaze, and wait for them to come close.
You just see, as you look out the door and down over onto the forest floor, on the swamp floor, you just see the guy in the dungarees, the old-looking elf, and he just kind of like shakes his hand over his neck. Like, just stop, just stop. He knows, and they all know that your intentions and their intentions are aligned, and these are good people. He also knows, as you know, the high elves aren't necessarily as good a people as you'd like. And perhaps they have their reasons, but you haven't.
I will
No,
leave you then.
whatever you think of these people down there, or whatever you think of us, helping us in this cause is inevitably going to get your homes back. It means you're not going to have to live in this swamp with these people who you clearly hate. So why not just help us? In the end, it's helping yourselves more than anything.
And he just says over the top of these sort of like armed figures, Lord Clasher says, I do not have the means to help you. I wish I did, but I don't. My friends here, they are willing to help. So let them go to their deaths. I know of what it is that you face. I was there in the beginning, and I'm sure I'll be there in the end. If you want to be fool enough to try, then please do. But, I'm sounding like you now. Do not expect me to commit what little I have left to help. Let others with strength of arms do what they may.
You are no
And this
fit
is for
leader.
you. This is for you, and I wish you farewell. I bid you farewell. And he hands over a note to Volta. If you unravel the note,
Will you be my
if you unravel
boyfriend?
the note. Where did
Meet me out back in 5.
it says on the note in Elvish.
Oh,
Oh. Yeah. Your family were not on the ledger. However, not everybody arrived here. This is all in Elvish, of course. Other portals, other escape portals, would to take them to New Waterhold, Water Run, the foothills and forests of Almaneth, or the continent of Zahara.
Crikey. How
But
does
of
this
course,
chime with
you now also know, from what Zinanaton said, that may not be the case.
if Zenanaton is to be trusted.
Well, he is a demon. Potentially a demon
Logan's
who's a dreadlord.
gonna turn to him and say, "You're not fit to run a household, let alone be a lord," and walk out.
He just sort of scoffs at you. He doesn't care.
I swear to God, I want to kill this guy.
I thank you for your kindness with the note, my lord. However, I would ask you to reconsider in due time and think about where your duties lie, not only to the people here, but to the people who were left behind and who were lost. You will
He
be held
nods.
accountable.
He nods and he sort of bows deeply in your direction. He knows what you're asking him. He just, at the moment, he doesn't seem to.
Okay.
And I'll take it on your passive perception. He just doesn't seem to. It's not. He doesn't care. He just doesn't know realistically what to
So
do.
what to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Friends, I think we have made our point here. We should maybe give his lordship time to think. There is one other person I would wish to speak to at least before leaving, but I must converse with you out of earshot opinion.
Logan's
And
just
usher
going to quickly
one
say through the
side of my
rings. I know Bena
power.
can't hear it, but you two can. Just saying, if this guy doesn't show up to help in the end, I will not let him rule.
You will not.
I will not let him rule if he
All
doesn't
right.
show up to help in the end.
I will send back if he does not show up. There may be nothing to rule.
Fine. Where else
So
can we go?
You off the side a little
This
bit.
was
and
useless.
Before, when we leave, I bow to the Lord of my Lord, and I go.
The Lord of Landsrock.
If any of you have seen
Party of Socialist Uprising.
what's it called? You know, Hunger Games, where she shoots the arrow up at the thing and does that really sarcastic, like, bow.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to give him when I walk out.
Cool.
Right. So can I assume that we're going to be going a little bit away from Lord Calastro? Because I don't really want him to hear the next bit before we discuss it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're wanting to move out, you know the swamp elves are going to go north to the King's Lake to wait on any decisions to try and overtake Atlantalos. You also know that your next port of call effectively would have been Castleview, the human city, to try and win them round.
I'm not quite ready to leave the swamp. I just want to discuss with the chaps
Yeah.
what I want to do next. And
No, that's cool.
So just a little bit out of earshot of the high elves, a little bit away, you know.
I just want to give you a quick rundown of where you are, basically, and what's
Yeah.
next. And of course, Harriet is on her way to the swamp and
She's
is
on her way. Uh-huh.
oh blimey, she's what are we? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6 days away.
Uh-huh. What the hell? How could she? You told us last session it was, 5
5
days travel
before.
total.
No, I didn't. I said it was
You-
over 5 days.
6
Got
is
barnacles on the bottom of our airship. Slows
It was
down.
5 days from. It was 5 days from Waterhold to Carnlodir or nearby.
Goddamn useless Harriet.
So it was extra time to go south. So of course you might want to communicate with her if you can, to tell her what your new plans are when you have new plans. But for now, let's go over to Volta and what it is that he would like to achieve.
Yeah. Before I proceed with this, I would have your consensus. If you do not know, as far as I'm aware, unless I missed it in the excitement, why the dragon was here and what it was doing, there may be a way of finding this, but I must speak with the spirit of the dragon. It may be slightly disturbing.
The only thing I know is it wanted to reclaim the swamp. But I see no reason why we can't speak with the spirit of it. Or you can. I just want to get out of the way of that excuse of a lord in there. The people below may not take kindly to me setting his house on fire.
Not seeing as it is not actually his house.
Set him on fire.
I was
do you
close.
think
I
it-
was close.
Is there any profit in raising the spirit of the fake Great Mama?
I don't see how we can learn about from the spirit.
Dragons
Yes.
are very knowledgeable.
You can always try and see if she can give, but I don't think she will be very cooperative after we killed her.
Maybe we could persuade her that we freed her spirit to wander free and away
As a
from
point-
such trivialities as swamp elves. Yeah.
As a point, just remember, I think the dragon did reveal to you that Great Mama was an elf, and the dragon had killed and assumed the form of Great Mama. It's not that the dragon is Great Mama; it's that he had assumed the form of
I was just calling her Great Mama because that is how we were introduced.
Okay.
We,
I mean, I see no
so
harm
far as
in
I know,
it.
we got no other name from her. I do not know whether there may be other information we can glean from her.
The
or
worst
him,
we're going to
whatever it
get is the same point as we are now, so I see no harm in trying.
Is anyone opposed?
No.
No, it can be interesting to see, if I'm honest.
If this spirit comes back and we're all nomming on dragon meat in the background.
Well, maybe you could put your dragon sandwiches to one side for the moment.
Well, if Volta is going to cast a spell, is it a ritual spell or is it a
It is a one-action spell. It is a
one action? Okay. I quite like the idea that this spell is communicate with the dead, isn't it?
speak with dead. Yeah.
I think I quite like the idea that Volta kind of holds his hands out and starts maybe chanting some words, and his head goes back, and his eyes turn milky white. And for you guys, you just see him stood there like this. But for Volta, he seems to enter into another plane entirely, where the world is still around him. You guys are still, but it kind of turns this weird shade of blue. And the spirit of the dragon, so the dragon body is there, but the spirit is still roaming around as if it was still alive. This kind of like mirror world, if you will, or mirror image of the world. It's cold. It's just everything's like this weird blue, and the spirit is kind of there, and it suddenly notices Volta. You can, as your spirit, I think you kind of. I'd say I like the idea that you step out of your body almost, and your body is still there, the hands outstretched and open hands and head back, milky eyes. But in this plane, you can step out of your body as Spirit Wolfer, and the dragon notices you and sort of stomps around looking at you and what have you done? What have you
Greetings,
done
Wolf.
to me?
We have vanquished you, noble foe, but there are things that I believe we could learn, and things that you may wish
Yes,
to both.
I thought I was dead.
You fought most valiantly, but you were in the end overwhelmed.
Yes. It's not in my nature to be humbled, but humbled I am.
Could you enlighten me as to what your purpose was here?
And it starts to laugh and so not only do you defeat me in battle, disrupt my life, end it, now you wish to ask me questions. Well, what have I got but eternity? Yes, what was my purpose here? This was my swamp. 800 years. And these bullywugs showed up and I tolerated it. They were a good food source. And then along came this elf. She gave intelligence to these bullywugs. She gave them powers beyond what they should have to try and form some sort of alliance or something, a peace and accord, so that she could have a village built here. They all seemed to get on rather well. Upset my way of living. Of course, didn't need to hide when there were less intelligent creatures about. Elves turning up, I had to be a bit more clever, disguise myself. So I killed, when they inserted themselves, I killed the one that they called Great Mama. I had learnt over my many years to disguise myself as a mortal being. And so I became Great Mama myself. A great pretender, if you will, an actor. Just so I could have my way, to rule over the swamp, continue to live where I wanted to, without anybody knowing the wiser. You'll note, and this is in brackets, he said and referred to elves as being mortals. As I've said all along so far, elves are very Tolkienish. They're not mortals at all. So what is it you wish to gain from me beyond this knowledge?
The knowledge of who you were and what you did is enlightening, and it explains a lot of why you did what you did. Is there anything that you in your great wisdom can share with me to further the fight against the forces that drove these elves to this place?
I do not know these things. My kin come from the Feywild. As you probably well know, we ended up here, some of us. Our champions, the Dragonborn, those who serve us, they live on a different world to this one. I cannot help you further. Perhaps you have it in your power to release me to my goddess Tiamat. Allow me to pass over, rather than see you all defile my flesh.
If I can find the knowledge to free your spirit, then I will. How might we know you by your true name, so that we can send you on?
My true name, lost to me long ago. Let me see, my true name was Makash.
Very well, Makash. We shall endeavor to set your spirit free. For now, I wish you peace in your rest until your journey is completed.
I will find no rest, not in this state. And if you wish for the spell to end,
I will drop the spell on.
you fall back to finding these guys all looking at you, aghast, wanting to know what happened. I think for you, time obviously passed by as that conversation did, but for them, maybe it was a few seconds.
Yeah. So,
Well, you're going to do it?
We're waiting. Why am I Irish? We're waiting.
I'm even Irish. What's going on?
It's infectious, isn't it? It
We're
really is
waiting.
infectious.
Well, sit down and let me tell you. No, what? So, what's Walter now? Where's Walter come? Hang on. I will relay the bare bones of what it is, the dragon's name, his wish to be freed, and the rationale behind what he was doing.
So did you see the dragon then?
I spoke with his spirit, let us say. I have certain talents that have been made available to me in that way.
Can you speak with any dead spirit?
I believe that I can, if I am in the location
So
of the deceased.
you need to be in the location of where they died, or where their body is, or how does it work?
I need to be where the corpse is.
Their corpse
It's in
or
my stomach.
part of their corpse?
Does it matter if you have eaten them?
I'm thinking, in theory, if we need to commune with this dragon again, would it be wise for us to take a scale or some such? Or would
I
it
do
need to
not
be a majority?
I do not believe we will have any need to communicate with this dragon again. I have relayed the information to you that he was able to give, and now he just seeks release. He does not seem to be the guardian of any other knowledge that will help us in our current course.
Hmm.
I imagine the way the spell works is that you probably need to be in the vicinity. I don't know the wording of it, but you probably need to be within the vicinity of wherever this character presided, or within where its
Has a
body
tie
may be
to that
nearby.
kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's probably like a spiritual medium type idea that you
Mm.
probably need to be in that area. I don't know the wording of the spell, so I'm a.
I'll put the original wording of the spell in general chat.
Yes.
But then it's open to your interpretation, Mike, because you have obviously just put your own little bit of gilding on the spell and how it works. So I guess it's DM rules on quite how it works, but that's the original sort of wording
so-
for it, so you've got what it is.
It looks like from the wording that you do need to be within the vicinity of the corpse.
Yeah.
So
And it also looks as if the corpse itself would become animated. So if there was a skeleton in a chair in a dungeon, for example, it looks as though that you could ask the corpse a question or the skeleton a question, and it will animate and start talking to you,
the
which
dream
is
state
fine.
was
And I
cool,
think I quite like to keep it this way. I think in the wording of the spell, you need to be nearby the thing that you want to talk to or communicate with. It could be a very long dead body for all I care. I'm not bothered about that. But I think you need to be in the vicinity, and then we can go into this kind of like mirror plane and speak with the spirit of the deceased. I think that's quite a cool idea. I like that.
if I know we need to speak to the other dude, but I don't think we're going to be spending a week or so in this town. So it's at this point I think we find someone who we trust to leave a message for Glory Hole Lady.
Harriet. Well, you could use sending if anyone has sending to give her a message.
I don't believe
You
so.
could inquire about the area to see if anyone could do that. I imagine someone within the High Elves probably could. But your last
They're ever so
conversation didn't
helpful
end well.
before.
Well, you might just have to bite your tongue.
And bite his tongue.
Bite someone's tongue.
What else do we need to do in this town, guys?
We decided that I was going to grab a quick drink. 2
Yeah.
seconds.
I don't know if there is anything left to do because we recruited the elves,
Mm.
like the swamp elves.
We
The others
we freed the
cannot-
prisoner. There's housing. We've sorted
Yeah.
Mama. We spoke to the useless high elf, who is no lord.
I don't know. If
Well, you never
want-
know. He might turn out better than we think. He might just need a little bit of encouragement.
I don't know. I fancy being Lord of Atlantalos.
You know, we don't need to do anything with the frogs.
I'd say someone better than me either ask the high elves for some sort of missive message, or we leave some kind of sign or message ourselves. But if I go in there, it's going to end nastily.
What do you want to... Oh, I thought when you said a drink, I thought you meant water.
No.
No.
Mike doesn't have water. Water's not in his veins.
What's that? It's that bloke in that pub again, isn't it? What's water?
The only water Mike knows is in the sea.
What message did you say you want to?
Just to redirect Harriet Glory Hall to the town that we're going to. Was it Castleview? Was it called?
Glory Weaver.
Yeah. Potato.
You would do well to learn her name, seeing as she seems quite sweet on you, Logan.
Oh my god, I forgot the sentient potato.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, let's progress somewhere down that line, and then we'll send them. We could use the sentient potato to
you
deliver the
start to hear
message.
from out of the woods, bump, bump, bump. This ginormous potato with legs and arms and a really horrible looking face comes.
Please tell me the
strolling
legs and
through.
arms are like when you leave a potato too long, it gets them like rooty bits.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yes.
exactly it. It's like, I am potato. Roll initiative.
Oh God!
I'm joking.
Oh, I
Oh,
imagine.
but you missed out on the puns of you've had your chips and
I think a sentient potato is probably in the pool. If you left it in the pool, it's probably still in the pool, just like floating about, going, "Oh my god, kill me!"
I got that. He's in my pocket. He's in my pocket. I'm
He's
gonna
in
get
your
into
pocket.
limbs one day.
If he's in your pocket, I think you might just start to hear like, "I'm potato."
Is it like I'm Groot?
Yeah, exactly.
except it should be in an Irish accent because everyone knows potato.
Oh god.
Pull the potato out. Hello?
Can
Oh
you,
my god, it's Daddy!
Mr. Potato? Are you able to deliver a message?
Absolutely fucking not.
You can't have a delivery potato. What are you on about?
Oh, that's
Listen,
my
we can't
boy.
have a sentient potato, but that's happening.
Also, how this potato will walk to find the person who needs to give the message to.
You see the little shoots start, or the roots or stems, whatever you call it, start to like branch
I'm
out
very fast.
from the bottom. You see, so the potato is like a normal looking potato, but it's got like this. It's got little two beady eyes, and it's got a little mouth drawn across it, which is used to speak. And then these little tendrils come out, and then you see two more come out the side of it. So it's like arms and legs. Put me down, you fucker!
I am very
Can we cut it up for
intrigued about
science?
it. As a druid, I ask, can I study the potato for a few days, please?
Well, I mean, he's probably only got a little bit of life in him, but you have to ask him. He's his own man,
He's got
so to speak.
30 days of intelligence.
What have we descended into?
I mean, this is like so far outside the parameters of the
So-
spell, but I don't really care. It's just funny.
Actually, it is really interesting for me, and I would like to use these 30 days to learn more about potatoes, their biology, and their society, and if and all.
Society.
There's one.
A whole network of underground potatoes.
I am curious to learn.
I wonder
Oh,
if
what have I done? I
while
pressed
the
something.
water is still good for the
What have
30
you done
days,
indeed?
what happens if we were to water a potato farm? Would it
Oh
find
no,
some
it gets
life?
society.
Anyway, it looks like we're staying here for the time, so we'll be able to speak to Harriet ourselves.
Sorry, I'm here. So I'd like to study the potato and learn about the biology of potatoes, and also if it is true if plants communicate with each other, and how this happens. So I'm just trying to find more information about plants since I've got a very clever potato.
You know that whole thing of
I'm
a
trying-
DM that, like, think of everything unexpected you could ever think of to plan, and then think outside of
You
that.
do realise like this entire episode is not planned
I don't
I've just
even
gone
know
with
what
it.
is going on anymore.
because I don't even know where you guys are going to go at this point. So I just left it to you. I'm just trying to decide: is the potato going to be like, yeah, I'm quite happy to talk to you about like biology type stuff, or is the potato going to be like, step off, bitch? I don't know.
This potato, we can run with this, I think.
I'd like
Bringing
I
it
think
for the
Colin
first time ever.
Bud.
Making your intentions known, Lily, towards the potato. He sort of looks up at you and is like, yeah, I can help you out if you want me to.
Yay!
There isn't really a huge like potato culture though. There's no like subculture or nothing like that. We're just potatoes.
Yes, but you communicate with each other. When somebody is picking you up, do you talk?
Oh no, we don't communicate with nobody because normally we can't speak. This is a pretty unique situation to be in, to be honest.
Yes, but you don't have any chemical interaction or anything. So I'm just, asking questions, this type of, and I just find it fascinating. And I'm trying to get as many notes as I can about the society of potatoes.
Well, depending on what the group wants to do, I think the potato probably climbs up. I think the group he probably climbs up onto your shoulder and he'll sort of sit on your shoulder and talk to you as you're talking to him and going about your business. So whatever the group are doing, he's there on your shoulder as a little pet, and
Yes.
he's just gonna. You can talk to him as you wish,
Yes.
and you can decide upon whatever it is you want to learn about potato societies.
Yes.
We'll call him Nick. Sputnik.
Hey.
Oh,
Is that because I can punt him into outer space?
awful.
Let's go to this Castleview town. I don't know what is going on anymore. I need some normality.
Cool. So if you're all in agreement, you want to go north. It is a new day, so it's fairly early in the day. I'm not gonna say it's like midday or something. Yeah, you just start heading north. Out of the.
While we are walking, I am bringing up the case of the amulet. Is it amulet? Of the pendant.
Yeah, you've got the pendant.
And we should decide. Do we know? Do we need to identify it, or how does this work?
Oh,
So we
attunement.
can decide who will
It
have it.
would require some level, I suppose. Well, no, because they told you what it did. Sorry, I'm talking absolute rubbish. They told you what it did, which was. Where's the notes for that? So it was Melora's Grace and Melora's Wrath. It requires attunement. It's a double-sided pendant. So on the Grace side, what you need to do is, they would have sort of explained this to you. If you sort of like rub it with your thumb, for example, like like that. Melora's Grace.
What?
No. How did we go from
What's
potatoes to
disgusting?
this?
What, rubbing a pendant?
I think we broke.
Dirty,
I think we broke him.
yeah,
Was that an
dirty, dirty old man. What is wrong with you, lad?
Oh God.
Just carry on.
What is wrong with you? Anyway, well, ignoring Steve's obvious,
5-year-old.
yeah, being a 5-year-old. Those of us of a more mature nature can talk about rubbing a pendant, without it being a
It
sexualized
was
thing,
fucking
apparently.
Dan's fault. Don't blame me.
Right, if you rub it and it's Melora's Grace, right, it will allow you. I mean, you'll discover this through attunement, but I mean, I think they would have probably told you roughly. It allows an extra hit dice and a short rest.
Awesome.
And on a long rest, you get 5 temporary hit points. If you were to swap it over to Melora's Wrath and rub that side, you gain Primal Savagery, which is a spell,
Oh yes,
which is in Xanathar's.
Yeah.
Where is
I
the spell?
I have it. Yes.
You already have it.
Yep. It's a
Okay.
cantrip.
Yeah, you would gain Primal Savagery. To activate it, the wearer must rub the side they wish and use an action to ask via a prayer said out loud to Melora what they wish to achieve. So it could be a prayer out loud. I wish upon Melora's grace to grant me extra vitality during a short rest, i.e., an extra hit dice. Or I wish Melora to grant me her wrath, and I'll gain primal savagery. You just got to sort of say something like that out loud. It was an item I sort of designed more around Lily. So if Lily wants it as a druid, then she can. Anyone can take it. It's not a druid specific item. Anyone can have it. If you've already got Melora's Wrath, it might be you might want to pass on to someone else.
Yeah, I think-
Of course, I think identifying the item, I haven't obviously made you roll for it, but identifying the item, the guys at the swamp kind of told you about it. You can decide what you want to do with it. The only thing is, if you're going to leave the swamp, how are you going to communicate with Harriet on your next move? Because she is, as far as she's aware, coming straight to the swamp because that's where you are.
Good question. Thing is, if we just keep moving, she's just going to be playing catch up the whole time.
She is
I
in
guess
an
we are on
airship
foot.
and will travel faster than us.
Yeah.
I think someone's going to have to talk to the High Elves and send a message to intercept.
If they can.
There's no
Okay,
guarantee.
I'll go up. I'll talk to Lord Fauntleroy.
I hope you don't find this rude, but I think I'll wait outside.
Something that sort of jogged my memory the other day was Volta, your book. You took a book from the library, didn't you? In Waterhold. What was your progress with that? It was like 7 days or something of reading, wasn't it?
I was reading it while we were on the airship, and I have made no mention of reading it since we've been here.
Okay. So you're about 5 days into it, basically. 5 of 7. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to go and speak to the elves and see if you can find someone with sending, I'm not going to RP it all out, but you kind of pushed away from the doorway where Lord and Lady are. But making inquiries, I think one of them might step forward, a spellcaster might step forward and just say, I can send a message if you wish. I think the wording for sending is it must be someone that you know at least. But I think for the purposes of this, because otherwise you are going to have to stay here for a long time, we're going to
I would
skip
say
through some
that
time.
Lily would know people.
Well, it's up to you.
here,
I mean,
though.
do you want to stay here and skip?
Yes, whether the spellcaster knows Harriet is the issue.
I mean, we could always just leave a message here, and when Harriet gets here, she'll know to go to the next place. It doesn't
Or
need to be a
Yeah,
spell message.
I think for the wording of the spell, you're probably better off either leaving a message or waiting yourselves that whole time. I don't think for the wording of the spell, I don't think you can just have anyone send her a message, which is my bad. I said earlier that, you might be able to find someone. I don't think you can. I don't think it'll work that way.
the only way,
That's fine.
the only thing I can think of on this situation is if they have any scrolls that we can buy of sending, and then we can use it.
You can. You would need someone capable of knowing the sending spell to be able to then use the scroll.
Do we have Like I'm not. But what about
The only person amongst you would be Volta if he's
Yes.
capable of knowing that spell.
Walter? Are you capable?
I don't know. I will check my spell list of stuff that I don't have.
That's cool.
Bear with me a second to see whether
We
I'm
had a bit of
capable
a
it.
discussion earlier on. I thought I worded his Blade of Xenanaton a certain way. I didn't, which was much to my own annoyance. I was like, oh god, that could have really helped in this situation.
Situation.
Second, what's that?
Xanaton.
Sorry, they take a bit of reading these things.
Yeah, they do.
Xanaton.
Sounds like an antihistamine medication.
I don't have. Oh no, it's no good.
I think it's a wizard spell or something like that. Isn't it?
Or are you not a wizard?
No, I'm a
No,
magic
he's a warlock.
I see.
Magic user, dear boy, magic user.
Magic user of an evil nature.
Nefarious. Dr.
Like-
Nefarious.
Slight widow's peak and maybe a penchant for dark clothing, but other than that.
I've always seen you as being a bit like a Cure fan or something like
that. Yes, no, I have the ability to use scrying, but that would only let me
Peoples.
Yeah, look upon
somebody, and I do have the ability to eventually, if I wanted to learn dream.
Ah, now that's a spell I've used quite a lot in these visions when you are asleep.
So potentially, I could use a scroll of dream, but that's the only thing I could do with my current spell list.
It would be your choice entirely on what you guys want to do. I would allow you to use a scroll of dream if you could find someone to describe it and you could use it.
I reckon we carve it into the potato skin and leave it wandering.
I'm just trying
You
to
could
see.
just ask him to say it.
I think anybody can read the scroll, but
It requires a scroll requires someone within that school of magic to
Yeah.
understand it.
yeah.
So anyone can read it, but it needs someone that can actually comprehend it to do it.
Yeah, it needs to be on your class spell list.
Yeah,
you
that's
don't,
right.
You don't need to know it as long
No.
as it is. I see. Okay.
Well,
Yeah, you don't need to know the spell. You just need to be able to comprehend it.
Do you want to sort of make it vaguely sort of D&D by sort of saying that we roll to see if there is anyone who's capable of inscribing a dream scroll
And
put it in
I
the lap
did
of
roll
justice?
for it.
Not
I
we'll
mean,
leave
there would
method.
be. These are high elves. They are
Yeah.
fairly magical people, and there will be someone here that can inscribe you a scroll. Not a problem. That isn't an issue. It's just down to can Volta understand it and comprehend it and make it happen, which I think Volta can. If you have Dream as part of one of your spells, you could do that.
It's on my list of learnable spells. It's just I don't have it.
Learnable spells.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not on my actual spell list, or else I'd just cast it. It's on the list of stuff that I have access to.
You have access to. Now, is that access to is outside your range or scope at the moment, or you just didn't take it?
I just didn't take it. It's at the
So
level
what I
that
would
I'm
say
able
is,
to access.
Given the wording of the Dagger of Xanaton, I would say you have two options. You could either ask the person inscribing it, who obviously does know the spell, to teach you the spell, which would cost, I'm guessing, about 500 gold. I don't know what the cost of spell learning is off the top of my head. I'm going to say about 500 gold. Or you could go for the other option, which was to make a worthy sacrifice, dripping the blood on the page, and with every intention of wanting to learn that spell, because it's within your scope to learn it, you could learn it. But it would have to be a worthy sacrifice. And we're talking
Potato.
humanoid. No, we're talking humanoid sacrifice. Something worthy, something big.
Like a dragon.
Like a dragon, but that's already dead.
I mean,
A frog, for example, or a chicken would not cut it to learn
What about
something like this.
I mean, there's a high lord in there that I kind of want to sacrifice.
While I do have a penchant for dark clothing, my soul is not yet so lost that I would wish to
What was the... Hang on, let's bring
randomly
up the...
murder things. How is your horse, by the way?
I mean, I could
So
sacrifice you if you carry on.
The wording
Aye.
I gave to this custom item was, when you are able to inscribe your book of shadows, it costs nothing to do so. The inscription appears instantly on the page, but only if dripped the blood of a fresh sacrifice. So I think I would modify the wording. It's a custom item I made anyway. I'd modify the wording to, in this instance, you want a specific spell, as long as you give Xanaton a worthy sacrifice. But it's got to be big. It's got to be...
You really don't like me having a soul, do you?
Why don't you sacrifice your peace and quiet?
The thing is, you brought a warlock to a game or a campaign all about demons and devils and all the bad
Yeah.
stuff. It's gonna get pretty dark.
He was a warlock at war with himself, a little bit conflicted. You know, he has a very definite aim as to why he's taking on these warlock powers. You know, he's got an aim and a focus. I guess that maybe I should talk with Xenanaton about what constitutes a worthy sacrifice. I may go a little apart from the party to do this, because maybe they don't want to be confronted with the gibbering demon lord.
Your choice. You do what you want to. You just tell me what you want to do. It's all down to you. You are in the swamp with these choices to make.
Then I will say, wait here, my friends. I must go apart for a short while, but I will return to you shortly.
I mean, of course,
no!
you could just do nothing and
Can
allow
you send
her
your
to
V-Rock?
arrive here in a few days.
Sorry,
Don't
just like
think
completely cut you off there. It just popped into my head.
I don't think a Vrock turning up in the middle of a airship that isn't used to demons turning up on it is going to be a...
No, but if you
move
tie
to
a big
inspire
white banner to it or something, or just a big message to its leg, even if they kill it, you can bring it back, right?
He can. He can bring. If it dies, it dies. He can just summon another one. It doesn't really matter. But
I know, but even if they were to kill it, if they saw a message attached to its leg or a big banner or something, or
yeah, I mean, you can certainly
you
do that.
skywriting behind it.
All of these options, you don't have to do any of this. You could literally let her turn up here, or you go off to do your other thing, and then, leave a message say when she turns up, tell her this.
Yeah.
It should be like, oh, for fuck's sake, and then she'll turn around and sail off towards wherever the hell you are.
She's still quicker than us, so we might not have even got there by the time.
That airship
Catches
would make the journey, her airship, because it was like quite a quick one, from the swamp to Castleview would take her like 2 days.
Can we not come back here on the time that we're expecting her?
You have, what did I say, 7 days
It
left.
all depends
7
on
or
how
6 or
long
7
we
days.
take in Castleview as well.
You're going to be travelling by, well, you still have your horses. The horses were left on the peripheries of the swamp. So
Right.
you could travel to Castleview probably within 4 or 5 days.
So it's far away.
It's a fair distance, but you could do that. I mean, the time it takes her to get there and then turn around and come up to Castleview to meet you should be there by the time you are. Yeah. Was she? Yes, I think so. No, she wouldn't.
Or shortly
No,
afterwards.
she'd still be behind you. Yeah, yeah.
But only a bit.
Yeah.
Only a bit.
We could faff around there for a day or two.
We can. So the point is, going forward, right now, we can allow Volta to explore his dark side, or you can do nothing and just go out on your adventures.
I think
It's
at the
entirely your
very least,
choice.
it's worth you speaking to Zinedine Zidane.
I think that was my first. I have two possible plans. One of which is to speak to Zinni, and the other one is to do something else. Yes, I
mean, you
will
could
go
just
apart
spend
from
the
the party
money.
and speak to Zinni very briefly. Have
You
we
could
got
just spend the
500
money
gold?
and yeah, you can spend the money and get the thing made up anyway. It
In-
might. I mean,
In the
in
bag of
rules
holding,
of
we've
written,
got
it might be more.
400 and around 450, 460. So if the other guys have got some, in theory, we could do that as a backup.
That's not many. I do have a bit.
It's not many, but
I don't know.
this money has been like paying for everything for like a month.
Been rinsed, hasn't it?
Yeah, a
I
little
do
bit.
still have quite a bit of gold.
I have half of that just as myself.
25 only.
I have no personal gold.
209.
Anytime I've got personal gold, I've just thrown it in there.
If I can take, I have 325, so I can take the balance out of the bag. Then we could maybe see if there's anyone to teach me the spell. That would be
Right.
Thinking long term, that's probably the most sound investment.
It's going to be a useful thing going forwards as well, rather than a scroll. If you learn it, we can use it as and when. In theory.
500 gold might have been a little bit generous.
Oh, you mean you can do it for 400? That's very kind.
It requires about 8 hours to inscribe.
Shortly.
What level spell is sending? Does anyone know?
Sending? I don't know, because I was after Dream.
Oh, you have to dream.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a 5th level spell, because I don't have access to sending.
It's a 5th level, did you say?
Yeah.
That's only $5.
Time gone by.
At 5th level,
When hope was high.
it would cost you 1,250 gold.
Woo!
Um,
Shit the bed.
sending is level 3 though.
Yeah, but he's not after sending, he's after dream.
Okay.
Because he can't do
Can't
sending.
have sending. It's not in my schools of magic.
And
What
anyone
about
here
message?
capable of...
Is message long range?
I don't know off the top of my head. I don't think
So,
it is.
so it is range unlimited. So it is one action, unlimited range. One
Yeah,
move.
message is
Proximity.
So,
within range, yeah.
Okay.
It would have to be a dream spell or sending.
Do we have money for this dream spell then? How much was it?
To inscribe about 1,250 gold.
No, not for a
We
scroll,
want
for him to be taught it.
To teach him it, he wouldn't have to pay anything apart from he would need a worthy sacrifice and a prayer to Xenanaton, who might teach him the spell. But worthy sacrifice has to be something humanoid-like, which of course presents its own problems. How is he going
This
to
does not present
effectively
a problem. I have
murder
a lord
something?
that I would gladly murder.
You
Yes,
are the one who has to kill
but
it.
there are
As long as you take the final
consequences.
blow.
Yeah, but there are consequences to your actions. If you start murdering lords,
He's not a lord worthy.
but
You
you
do
are
like-
here, you're here to raise an army to help the dwarves march north and retake Atlantalos.
I am going to go apart with Xenelaton and just have a very quick conflab with my patron. I think I will have to leave you chaps here for a second and go and
Yeah.
meditate around that corner over there.
And you
Scrying
take the
going on.
time scrying.
Just lets me observe.
You could
Yeah,
scry, but again, you can only observe as
I've- but I've-
as dwarves do.
Yeah, I think it might have been like vaguely homebrew. There was like scrying pools dotted around in
Wait, let's
in
just
another
see
game.
what Thingy says first.
There's another reason I was going for Dream.
Oh,
Well,
I'll let it go.
Let's see what happens with Demon
you
Boy.
you can sort of take your time and sit aside, and you can finger the knife and just run it through your hands, and you start to shut up, and you start to feel your connection build, and you close your eyes and you hear the voice in your mind. Hello?
My lord, I wish to speak with you and hold counsel with you. I require a boon.
It's you again. I
It
see.
is indeed I again. I need your help to further our joint cause.
Okay.
I require access to a spell that I do not have. To extra power. It may tip the balance in our struggles against the usurper. Binky. No, whatever his name is. Stinky. No. What's his name?
Griff.
Griff. That's the
I
fellow.
know. Oh, I thought you meant. Okay, not him. Yes, okay.
Yes. I require to learn the dream spell. I need to
Well,
influence the thoughts of others while they sleep.
if it is for the purpose of ends that you wish to harm the treacherous one, then I see no harm in granting you this spell. I really thought you meant the one known as Sprock, but okay.
Maybe we could help to deal with him later.
Sprock, the bastard. Yes. Never mind. Well, yes. Check back in your book in a moment, and I'm sure my influence will spread far enough to grant you this spell.
Thank you, my lord.
You are, what is the word you use? Welcome. What can I say except you're welcome? I've been watching movies, okay? Leave me alone.
It's lonely down here.
They do say the planes of the underworld are dark, and the picture quality must be quite high.
Yes, well, I mean, this one that, yeah, it's good. It's good.
Awesome.
Everything is awesome. That's another film I've been watching.
Now I have this image of Xenelaton as Lord
boring.
Business.
It's all business. All business. All business. As it fades.
Awesome.
How did you get on?
I believe that I may have a solution. It will maybe just take a few moments. So
I mean, that seems
I
easy.
will
Roll
check
a
my book of shadows.
Roll a d20.
Hello, pretty.
Hi.
Okay. It's rolling, and it's 14.
14.
You have inspiration.
14. You do have inspiration.
I do have inspiration. Then below it, I shall use my. Hang on, if I use my inspiration, does that give me advantage, or does it just re-roll? Yeah, that's what it does. It's that one since I've used inspiration.
You roll a d6. I think it varies between d4, d6, blah blah blah. And then you add that to your
Right.
score.
I have. Can I use? Oh, I'd forgotten this one. I have. Where is it? Come on. Come on. Dark One's Own Luck. Once per short rest. Oh, it wasn't an ability check or a saving throw, so that's no use.
Just use your inspiration
Yeah,
if
okay.
you want to.
Why not? Go on, what's that give me? A D4, did you say?
Go for a d6. D6 inspiration.
D6. It's a 5.
Alarming.
Johnny 5 is
The-
alive.
You open your Book of Shadows, and the spell you asked for is there, ready to use.
Naked.
With a 14, I was actually going to give you a random spell, completely random.
Wish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Have some of that, yeah. Cool. Thank you. I will make some way of adding that to my sheet.
What do you guys want to do next?
Dream.
Well, it's only in the morning. I mean, I don't know what the wording on dream is off the top of my head, but I'm guessing you probably don't want to go to sleep right now. I mean, Harriet's certainly not going to be asleep right now, so.
So
I
if
guess
we
we
if
should
we start
head off.
going, yeah, where we're going, and then that the same night we can send a message.
Yeah. I think that's a good course of actions.
Cool. So yeah, you head back to the borders of the swamp. Good few hours, hard labor getting through. You find your horses pretty much where you left them. They're, not kit. You obviously took
Malnourished skeletons.
the saddles and the bridles and that off. No, you took the bridles and the saddles off and all that sort of jazz. So they were comfortable. Roamed around the local area and fed and that, but they're there. You can call them back in and get saddled up again. And you start heading north. It's going to be a few days ride cross country. The first evening, you're going to have to make camp, and I would imagine that's where Volta is going to send his dream message to Lily. How does that go? Not to Lily, sorry, Harriet.
Yeah, it shapes a creature's dreams. So it's a creature known to me, must be known to me, and what can be Harriet is human, is she not?
She was a female human.
I
Yeah.
imagine that for Dream you do something along the lines of BFG and blow like these colourful things to a trumpet at her.
She
Or
is
he could
quite-
just appear in her dream and be like, "Oh, by the way, guys, we're not going that way anymore. We're going that way."
Also, this isn't a dream.
Yeah. Also, wow. I was going to say she is quite sweet on Logan, isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
So I'm going to send the image of Logan.
What the hell, Dan?
So a creature, a
That's
willing
getting
creature I touch, can be the messenger in the stream and can converse with the target as long as it remains asleep through the duration of the spell. So basically, I'm going to tell Logan to tell her to meet us at
Castleview Rock.
that city,
Castleview, was it?
Castleview.
I'm going to touch Logan, send him into a dream state, and get him to visit Harriet
Well,
Glory Weaver in her
if you
dreams.
use Logan,
Oh,
her
no.
response is
Don't.
interesting, actually.
Oh no.
What?
Come to Castleview.
Her response is this: Logan, I wasn't expecting to see you this way, and thank you for the message. I have interesting news for you.
I'm engaged.
What news do you have?
Oh no, she's pregnant.
Well, this isn't new. This isn't your conversation. This is actually Corb's having this conversation.
Oh, and then what news do you have? In my best Logan voice, what news do you have?
Just choose any accent; they're all mine.
What?
Whether
I don't
this
know
is
what you're on about, my friend.
whether this is
What
whether this
news?
is a clearly this is a dream. I'm assuming you're using some sort of spell. I didn't understand it was within your scope, but I look forward to seeing you, brother.
Oh no.
Awkward.
All this time, Logan's been bashing one out to Harriet.
Why is it always my characters that do this? Through no fault of my own.
You are the character lord who puts his fingers in plug sockets, though, mate. So let me rephrase that.
The days go by fairly uneventfully. Traveling north, you may hunt the odd deer or rabbit.
I also, while we're traveling, I say to all of you that I think this amulet will be more useful with one of you because I already know how to use this spell. So I don't know who would like to rub the amulet.
When dream is used via another person, would I know about it, or would only Walter know about it?
No. This is knowledge only privy to Volta. If he tells you, he tells you. So Logan is blissfully unaware at the moment.
I think I might save it up for an amusing moment.
So you're gonna have to RP it. If you think Logan has feelings for her and wants to make a pass at her, you could certainly do that next time you see her. It would be then down to the RP of what goes on next. But for now, Logan doesn't know.
Well, that's the end of that. So what's the plan with this amulet, Lily?
Yeah, what does Wrath do?
So
The Laura's
the
wrath.
primal, it is a spell that we have, that druids have.
Primal
So
savagery.
actually you transform your teeth and your fingers grow and sharpen, and you are delivering a corrosive attack, so it's a melee spell attack against one creature, and the target gets acid damage, and after you do the attack, then you return to normal.
My feelings are that it would not sit well with me, but may be better in the hands of someone whose spirit is used to a lighter environment.
Mm-hmm.
Keenan, you fight with your hands often.
Yes.
Mm,
Yeah,
I do.
I think it will help. Yeah, it will enhance your quality of attack.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to give it a go.
Hmm.
I think Logan's also quite an angry fella, but
But he has his sword.
that's true. That's true. He doesn't need fingers when he's got a sword. Okay, I'll try it out.
So you do that. You know it requires attunement, but couple of days travel north. You
Hmm.
travel along that eastern road along the side of the lake, through the woods. It's a wooded area, and you keep pushing north until the road brings you to what would be the southern gate of this grand, grand wall, stone wall, towers. You can see looking left and right, far off in the distance, there are towers, and in front of you, a great big gatehouse, a stable, and a couple of guards hanging around. They're in plate and chain armor.
For anyone who's
And the
watching,
road.
it's on screen.
Sorry.
Just for the sake of podcast and such, it's on the screen at the moment. But you carry on describing it.
Yeah, there's a separate road that seems to go around east and around, as far as you can tell, around. But the main road carries on through the city, and these guards approach you. Halt! Who goes there? What do you want? If you're coming through the city, that's all right, but we got to inspect you, make sure that you know, up to standards.
What does this mean?
Well, there can't be no weapons unsheathed, that's for starters. If you're going to take weapons through, we got to send a chaperone with you.
And why is that?
Why is that? Well, to make sure that you don't get into no trouble inside the city walls. Our Lord lives in here. There's parliament for all of our kind in here. We can't have you lot running around with swords and bows and all that sort of stuff hanging out.
Do you have people that coming and give you problems very often then?
There's crime throughout the city. Of course there is. There's crime in every city. But can't have you lot coming in here with extra weapons unchecked. You're welcome to go around if you want to.
Is
He
this
points to the road leading off around the city. You can go around that way if you like, or you can come through the city. I don't care. But if you come through the city, I need to have you chaperoned if you bring weapons. We're going to check you out first. Make sure there's nothing we don't know about.
I'd
How
like to
exactly are you going to do that?
try and sew in some razor blades into the cap of my flap.
You have a cap
How
on your
exactly
flap.
am I going to do that? What do you mean?
Well, how are you going to check us out? You don't know us from Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Right, well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. If you're wanting to come through the city, we're going to have to check you out one at a time. Make sure you've got no hidden blades, nothing like that, nothing nefarious.
I mean, I don't think I can hide it, and he pulls up this, 5-foot sword.
It's a very impressive weapon, that. But if you're going to take it through the city, you're going to have to be chaperoned.
Very well, gentlemen. Bring
Then-
out your Scatterhorn. It will be fine. Don't worry. Stand down, Logan.
I was
Stand
merely
down.
pointing out that it's not going to be a hidden blade. It's clearly here. But I'm happy for a chaperone.
No, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
What
I'm
about-
quite happy that you've presented it to me. At least we know what we're dealing with.
What about him and his guns?
Oi, I don't need a blade.
Very clever. Because he's a weapon of his own. That's fine. And he looks at Keaton again. He's like, is he all right? He looks a bit of a funny colour.
Got to excuse me, I'm trying not to speak because I keep slipping into Brummy.
Well, fine. We'll have a little look for you. We'll have a little look around. And they start like looking around you and maybe pat you down, looking for anything hidden.
Frisky.
Is there anything hidden? Well, Frisky, yeah. Is there anything hidden that you can tell me about now, or are you gonna hide things, or are you gonna be truthful and say there is nothing there?
I mean, for me, I've got nothing that you can't see anyway. There's some bits in the bag of holding, but nothing that shouldn't be there.
So also, if they see our...
Sentient potato might be a bit odd.
I think I missed that. If they see our weapons, can we take them in with us, or do we need?
You can take the weapons with you. You can take the weapons,
as
but
long as they know what we have.
as long as they know what you've got, and they'll send a chaperone with you. If you're just passing, that's the thing. They're gonna send a chaperone if you're passing through. If you're going from Southgate to Northgate, they will send a chaperone all the way through. If your intentions are to linger here, you need to tell them.
Okay. I show them my. I don't have anything else hidden, and also they see this funny-looking potato trying to bite his. When he comes to check it, he's trying to bite his finger.
Careful, he's a starchy one.
Oh.
It's been a bit of a dictator.
Hey, you're gonna hurt his peelings.
All right. I've had enough of this. Anyone got anything to declare or not?
No, I just have also
Beyond the
a
obvious.
small bear totem.
Nothing hidden.
I mean,
Just
do
a
we?
couple of letter openers.
Do we definitely just want to pass through this place? We don't want to hole up here, wait for glory,
If
and
this is the
We
seat of
certainly got to
Parliament.
spend some time here.
You're still a couple of days ahead of the Swamp Elves meeting, or coming up to the King's Lake to
Yeah, I think
rendezvous.
we're gonna spend
So
some time
you're
here.
ahead of them.
We need to recruit the humans to our cause. It would be foolish to think it would not take some time. We
All right,
will
look,
be here
lass.
for a while.
If you want to, lass, sorry, my lady, and he sort of bows to Lee. If you want to come on in, that's all right. If you're passing through, we'll send a chaperone with you. If you're staying, well, we can't really afford to have a chaperone with you the whole time. I might ask that you leave your big weapons. I'm not going to deny your knives. I'm not going to lie. There's crime. If you want to leave a knife or a hatchet or something like that on your person, that's fine. But anything big, he looks at Logan, like your sword, sir, then I'd request you leave it here at the guardhouse, and you can pick it up when you next go out.
Do you have anything you would be able to secure a bag with?
It'll all be locked away in the guardhouse. No one's getting in there, and no one's coming out of it without us knowing about it.
This is more than just a sword to me, but I'm asking if I can put it in my bag of holding and you somehow secure that so I cannot open it until we leave the town.
I can't say I'm aware of what a bag of holding is, but we're happy to look after it for you if you like.
I'm not wanting to leave it behind. Can I somehow secure it in a chains or something so I can't draw it or use it?
No, if you're gonna stay around here, you gotta leave all your weapons with us.
I'm not willing to leave this sword.
Well, I'm afraid, sir, you're not going to be able to come into the city unless you're passing through it. I know it sounds like a stupid rule, but it's by order of the Lord.
Me and Laws haven't been exactly amicable lately. He looks to the other party and goes, "You know what this sword is, guys. What can I do here?"
Well, I mean, could you camp outside? I don't know how long we're going to be here.
I mean, I'll camp outside for tonight while we at least get a plan and you guys and scout ahead.
You start to
But I
notice
can't leave
on
the
the
light
road
of
as well.
Athena in a guardhouse.
No.
You start to notice on the road behind you there are people sort of like queuing up to.
Wait your
Try and
fucking
get through.
turn!
They're not pushing past you. They're queuing up, you donut.
I say to the
Please.
guard, would we need to check our weapons if we just spend the day in town and we leave again for the night? Camp outside.
Look, if you're gonna look, if you're gonna come in the town, you gotta pay. You gotta leave your weapons with us. But
Or pay.
if you're really that desperate to come on in, you could always, slip us 100 gold each, and you could take
I
your
could slip
weapons
the
with
blade
you.
through your ribs.
We'll
and
write
just
you a special.
walk away.
We'll write you a special. Write you a special pass. It's up to you. But there's people coming up behind you. So you're gonna have to get a move on.
It's probably not wise me slicing my way in when we're trying to recruit people from here.
I'm happy to give 1 gold to keep my weapons and my things.
100 gold.
No,
is a lot.
not 1 gold, my love.
100.
100 gold each if you want to keep hold of your weapons.
Oh, 100 gold each.
And we'll look the other way. We might write you a little pass in case anyone else comes up to you in the city.
How far are they from the swamp?
Oh, you're days away now.
Okay. You know you are facing in front of you the mighty warriors that managed to clear the swamp from an ancient black dragon, and because of us.
They just start laughing. Every time I've heard someone come around here, oh, killed a dragon. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at me. I'm so mighty. They just laugh at you. They don't care.
I'm not paying 100 gold. I don't have 100 gold anyway.
So.
Well, then, my love, you're not coming in the city. It's that simple. Piss off around the corner. Take that track around the corner. I don't give a fuck.
Someone needs to step in because I'm going to start murdering people.
Yeah, me too. I'm starting checking my spells.
And they start waving people. People they're waving people up to come through, and they're patting them down as it'd be you, and they're letting them through. These are just simple travelers.
Let us move to the side a little while. Let us move apart. How many of us are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 in the party. Is the gate here? The walls go around?
Do you mean? How do you mean? Do you mean the gate? The gatehouse is right in front of you.
Yeah,
the walls
but if we were
stretch
to
out.
Follow the wall around by that road. Would it stretch out?
Yeah, if you went the side way around, there's a little pathway that goes round the outside of the walls to basically bypass the city if you don't want to go through the checkpoints. So there's this wall, the pathway that goes around, and it's miles around. It's a huge city.
Well, I have an idea.
Yeah.
Let us go away from the gatehouse a little bit along and look at that stretch of wall round that corner there.
The other thing I can, I had also an idea I can suggest is, I don't know, are we here in this town to also find people to help us on our cause?
Yeah.
So if we just ask to see the Lord of the city and ask them to take us straight away there, so maybe it will be different, they just give us a chaperone, go to the Lord and talk to him straight away.
As long as we've got an armed guard, they can't exactly say we're going to cause trouble.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but
And
then
when we
now
talk with him, sorry.
we could try it with the gate guard. If not, then I suggest we go around that corner and I will take action to get us around this problem.
If you want to go and speak to the guards, they're sort of ushering people through and doing their jobs, and you might have to just butt in really, and they're, oh, what are you? Will?
Sorry, your sound went a bit there, Mike.
Yes, we couldn't hear you.
As you sort of like make your way towards the gatehouse again, they're sort of checking, going through. You're gonna have to like butt in to basically be heard, and they're like, whoa, what do you want now?
We would like to have an audience with your lord. We're here.
And they start laughing at an audience of the Lord. Piss off, you pointy-eared fuck.
I want to see your manager. I want to see him now. And when your lord hears about that, probably you will end up dead.
You really think he's gonna give a fuck? What you gotta fucking say?
I think he wants to hear us.
Does he now? And what makes you think he wants to hear you?
Because we have to offer him something that will make him very rich.
Oh yeah, and what's that then?
If he continues doing that, then suddenly there is a sound of thunder in the air, and I try to be 5 feet away from the rest of the party. So I just kind of talk to him and move a little bit away, and then he hears the sound of the thunder, and he needs to do.
So give me an intimidation roll.
Huh?
Give me an intimidation roll.
He needs to do a constitution test. Check. Intimidation.
I want it.
17. It's the intimidation.
As this goes on, he looks at the other guards. And says, all right, fucking just calm down, will you? Bloody fucking elves.
15.
Right, fine. And he takes out. He goes to the guardhouse, and he comes back. And he takes out this piece of parchment, and it just says, "Pass for 4 with weapons." And he just says, "Fine, fucking get in the city. You want an audience with our fucking lord? Good luck. In the meantime, fuck off at my sight."
All right.
Yeah, let's go.
What? Can I ask your name before we leave?
I didn't know. I'm gonna have to figure this off the top of my head because I didn't give him a fucking name. My name's Marcus.
Fucking Marcus.
Fucking Marcus.
Well,
And how
in
do
the
you
nicest
spell it?
way, I
Two
hope
F's
we
at the
never
start?
meet again. Twat.
Also, we will make sure to say to your lord about
Just how
the hard time
helpful
you gave us.
you were.
Yes, and I'm
I'm
sure
just
he will be really
doing
glad.
my fucking job. Now fuck off. I've had enough of the sight here.
Thank you, Marcus. We will certainly give you good mentions on Voyage Advisor.
I'm sure you will. Cheers then. Do you want to leave it
Yes.
there? That's a good point. Going into the city, that's a good point, isn't it?
Yeah,
To
because
give it a
it's
rest.
late.
Yeah.
I'm falling asleep.
Oh, I
So-
could do this all night. I'm so like stoked. I've got so
No.
much stuff written.
The thing is that I didn't sleep last night, and I woke up at 5 o'clock today, so I'm literally knackered.
Yeah, but,
That's
no,
been the
that-
case.
that's an interesting session.
Say,
It's a good RP session.
thanks to Steve Corbs up there as Walter.
Cheers.
thanks to Asepatenesis as Lily over this way.
Hello. Hi.
Can anyone actually see this?
They will on the recording. You know what? I'm not doing the outro. You can do it. Fuck you. Go on, you do it. Come on. Get your outro going.
Do you know what we completely forgot to do at the start?
What?
Mr. Branch.
I don't know. Did I? What did I forget?
We forgot to say that you guys leveled up for killing the dragon.
Oh.
Just add it in now and then
Oh.
edit it beforehand.
Yeah. Welcome to the start of the podcast, stream, video, whatever you want to call it. And the party has just leveled up.
There you go.
There we go. That little snippet will go at the start.
Thank you, Dan. And
You're
Mike,
welcome.
thank you for allowing the
You're welcome.
sentient potato and dashing all my hopes.
Sentient potato.
I think it was good fun. It was good fun
I like my
this
new
evening.
potato.